Hi, I'm Lisa. Welcome to my channel. This is my random recipes. Let's have breakfast. Today's recipe is called Cinn-A-Minis. It comes from this cookbook as you find at the checkout line at the grocery store. I don't know if they still do that anymore, but these were pretty popular for quite a while. They're relatively inexpensive. This particular book is from Pillsbury. This is my big Pillsbury cookbook. You can tell about how ratty and worn it is that this has been my go-to recipe cookbook for many years. Pillsbury in general is one of my favorite places to go for recipes. These little cookbooks tend to feature brand name products in the recipes. So like for this one in particular, uses Pillsbury Crescent roll dough. This recipe is super kid friendly. It's really easy. It's kind of fun to make. It goes together really quickly. I have had this before. I think you're going to like it. Let's make some cinnamon rolls. Let me turn this down so you can see what I'm doing. And I was able to get the kind that is just the sheets, so it doesn't have the perforations for the crescent rolls. There, quick little whack. Okay, so we're supposed to separate this into 4 rectangles. This is going to be one big sheet. Use our butter knife. Just nice straight cut across the middle. And one this way. This is butter. I've got 2 different measurements. This is 2 tablespoons of butter. This is what we're going to use on the 4 pieces of crescent roll dough. Now just spread the butter on. This is softened butter, as you can tell. Easy peasy. Okay, so next we have 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar, and we're going to sprinkle that on our butter as evenly as possible. Distribute, make sure that each gets some. Okay, next we have 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. Okay, now I like raisins, not everybody does. This recipe calls for a 1/2 cup of raisins. I cut it down to a 1/4 cup. And I like my raisins plumped up. So I took about a tablespoon of water, boiled it, add the raisins in, let them plump up. And since these rolls are so tiny, I chopped them up kind of small. Just use kitchen scissors. Then we're going to roll these up. So I'm going to turn it sideways. We're gonna roll it this way. Okay, and now, this is kind of a cool trick. You can use string, you can use thread, you can use a nice sharp knife. I like to use dental floss. This is like the little sample size that you get from the dentist. I like this particular kind because it's waxed, but it's not flavored. We want 5 rolls out of each pastry. Together we're going to get 20 little cinnamon rolls out of 1 can of the crescent roll dough. And yes, you can use the thread or the dental floss on full-size cinnamon rolls. It works for those as well. And 1 more. Okay, so there are my 20 rolls. All right, and then this is my pan. It says to bake. All right, that ends up. All right, so these are going to bake at 375 degrees for 17 to 22 minutes. I'll go put them in the oven and I will be back. Okay, so while I am back partway through, I just put the other rolls in the oven. Now I have a hunch and I'm going to give it a try, do a little experiment here. I'm gonna do similar recipe, but with a slight variation. It might work, it might not. Cut it in half and in quarters. And I've got more butter. This is another 2 tablespoons. So that's the butter. Now instead of using white sugar, I'm gonna use brown sugar. Same quantity, so it is 2 tablespoons. get creative here. Okay, so there's our brown sugar. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make caramel nut rolls out of this particular batch. Go ahead and roll these up again, and we'll reuse our dental floss. We're gonna make 5 more out of each one. Okay, now because these are caramel nut rolls, they're gonna be very sticky. Well, the brown sugar and the butter turns into caramel, right? So I greased, and then I put a layer of wax paper on top of the grease. So that'll keep it from sticking to the pan. And I'm gonna sprinkle, put them in here on top of the nuts. All right, so I'll wait for the other batch to come out of the oven. I will put these in. In the meantime, we're gonna make some glaze. So we're gonna want just powdered sugar glaze, very simple. Half a cup powdered sugar and 1 tablespoon of milk, just regular milk, and a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla. I'm gonna pause my camera. I'll be back when the first batch of rolls is done. Okay, so I am back. The Cinn-A-Minis are done. They're sitting here. They have cooled for about 15 minutes. I waited for them to cool before I brought them over. So I'll turn this down so you can see them for the unveiling, the big reveal. Let's tip over. All right, so the big reveal. So there's my little cinnamon rolls. I'm gonna serve them up. Let's do these right now. Okay, that's half of them. I have a rowdy puppy jumping around over here. So if you hear a bunch of noise, that's her. That's Cookie. She's a chocolate lab. She's my little chocolate cookie. She's about 3 months old right now, so she's kind of full of energy. Okay, so we're gonna do a taste test. I'll start with one of the unraisined ones. Let's see, let's go with this guy in the corner. I'll turn this up so you get to watch me try this out. They're just tiny, little bite. Got very cinnamony, very crispy. The glaze is nice. Those are good. Okay, let me try the one with the raisin. We'll go with this guy here. Put this one on the edge. See, they're not very big, just a bite or two each. I like them with raisins. Adds another little layer of sweetness. Okay, so just 2 bites. I'm gonna get the other tray. Turn this down so you get to see. Okay, so I got them out of the pan. I'm glad I did the wax paper. Okay, so these are, there's not a lot of nuts stuck to them. I probably could have used more nuts. But I'll say this was an experiment. It worked good. Okay, I would have done more nuts next time. But it definitely turned out well. Yeah, I would have coated the bottom of the pan with a nice little layer of nuts. Other than that, they're really good. So this is an alternative to the original recipe. It's nice and caramely. Yeah, I think I would do a more even layer of the nuts, but otherwise it turned out. It's good flavor. The concept is good. Just need a little bit of refinement. We have 2 different plates of rolls. These are the ones with raisins, these are the plain ones, these are the caramel ones. Now, other than the fact that the nuts could have been more evenly distributed on the caramel nut rolls, these, this recipe does have its problems because the rolls are super cute, super tiny, and they disappear in a flash. So, you know, then you have to make more, so, you know, such a problem to have. But because they're quick and easy to make, making more is not a huge problem. Now, next time, My dog stole my water. So next time, did someone say waffles? Yum. Come back for that one. Include the ingredients and the preparation for this recipe in the description below. If you have any questions for me, please feel free to reach out to me in the comments. I would love to hear from you. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. That would be great. Thank you for joining me on my journey. Hope to see you next time. Bye.